Man, absolutely everything has gone up in price. It used to cost me like $120, I think, to like fully paint a truck black. That's talking like sandpaper, primer, and paint. And I just picked up a couple cans here, probably enough to just do the roof of the truck. I already had half the sandpaper. I have already got the tape. So I got one thing of sandpaper, one can of primer, because I got a little bit of primer left over, and I got like 4 cans of actual black paint, and it was like $50. So it's now $50 just to paint the roof of my truck when it was like $100 to paint the whole thing. So everything keeps costing more. Like this can of primer alone was, I think, $8 for this. It used to be like $5 or $4, I think. So I don't know, everything costs more, but we got that. Yeah. So should be able to get started on some paint with the truck today, because it's gonna be a gorgeous day out. It's a little windy so far, and I'm not liking that. I think that's gonna die down though, and I think it's gonna get warmer as we go. So get a little bit more done on the truck, get the roof painted black, and maybe do the rest of the beds, the bed sides, I mean. Maybe do the rest of the bed completely. Yeah, we'll just go from there, I guess, see what happens. I'm getting the roof all ready. Just gave it a quick sand right off the top. Just get some of the material off. So I didn't have the camera recording or nothing. I was up there on my knees on the hood, jumped off, and my ankle completely rolled. Like jumping from the hood to there, I basically directly landed on my back. So that was a good stretch for the old ankle. That was legitimately the hardest I've ever rolled my ankle. So jumping from the hood, dude, directly, like, whew. That honestly felt like just as much pain as when I broke my left ankle, honestly. That was the same. Almost thought I broke my ankle for a second there, but about 10 seconds later, I just walked it off. So thankful we dodged that bullet. But back to the painting. All right, all the primer's on, it's just drying. Before you guys say anything, obviously the doors are getting painted. So I didn't really care if there was a little overspray on the doors. Obviously, I did tape all the way around so there wasn't direct spray. There's a little overspray though. The reason I did that is because, like I said, doors are getting painted soon, so they already have to be sanded down, so I don't mind if there's overspray. And for the windows, I put the first line so there wasn't direct spray, and I wasn't gonna tape the entire windows down, and I don't have any more bags, so I didn't have anything to cover them with. So basically my plan every time I paint, I usually just scrape the windows after with a razor. So it doesn't bother me if I have to scrape an inch or the whole window. So I'm just gonna scrape all the windows as soon as I'm done painting. You know what I mean? I've done that before, it works good for me. So I'm also gonna try to do this little piece between the bed and the back of the cab right there, black. So that blends. So we're finishing up our coats, getting towards the end here. So I think we're gonna call that good. Far from perfect as always, but shiny, black, not nasty, old white looking. So obviously I did that little panel like I said I was gonna do, and the roof. So I'm gonna let it all dry, throw the third brake light back in, and then, as I've stated a couple times, start scraping the rear window. Then I'll do the sides, the windshield, everything. And then we can take a step back and actually look at the final product and see what the truck looks like after. Kind of just blends with the windshield now. Overall, looking darker. Not perfect, but like I said, slowly turning dark. It's still kind of today. It's in the 20s, so it's pretty damn cold. The sun's like not really out. Well, on the camera it looks like it is, but it's pretty gray skies. So no paint today. Tomorrow though is supposed to be really nice, so we'll be doing painting tomorrow. But I can do some of the body work on the truck still. Rockers and cab corners are still this summer. We already did the bed sides. There's a couple little dents on the truck around it that I'm not really gonna worry about or deal with. But the big dent over the taillight, that's gotta go before we paint the bed. So might as well just do that now so that I can paint the whole bed tomorrow. So I'm letting the truck warm up here for a second, and I'm gonna get to working on that big ass dent over the taillight. So starting out a little bit. I sanded it. I tried to push it out a little bit if I could, but it's such a hard material that there wasn't really much I could do. So just starting to fill it in a little bit, and we're just gonna keep going. And this side's gonna be harder. This I just fill and sand, but this side there's a gap between the tail light, so I'm gonna have to kind of keep lining up the tail light and then taking it out, sanding it, lining it up, but shouldn't take too long. The exhaust brake has been sticking a bunch lately, so I was assuming that there was a little bit of buildup still in there. Since I started using it, I think it just kind of moved some material. So I went to drill another hole in it to do the same thing we did last time because it worked. And my freaking drill bit broke off in there.
Quest? I'm already on a quest.
Good thing is as we stated before, it's behind the turbo, so there's no harm to the engine. Like, it's not going to risk sucking it into the motor. But I think it is laying on the flap right now because it did not fall out the bottom. I've got an exhaust leak right at the bottom, so it had a chance to fall right out the hole. Pretty sure it's stuck sitting on the flap, so I'm gonna get a bigger drill bit, drill the hole really big. Well, not really big, but a little bit bigger. Stick my magnet down in there, pull that out, and then spray the crap out of that and get back to what I'm supposed to be doing. I am extremely confused at this point, dude. I have had my magnet in there for the past 15 minutes. I've had this open and closed repeatedly, so it's not sitting on the flap itself. Otherwise, it would have gotten stuck or would have fallen through. And the thing, I still can't find it on the ground. Like, I don't know where it is. I'm just gonna go back to this for now. I'll deal with that after I do another coat on this. For real, don't understand, man. There's nothing in here. I've tried repeatedly. The flap's open right now, so even if it was on the flap, sideways right now, so it would fall down. And I mean, the exhaust leak is in a perfect spot, like directly down. That's directly under. You can even see daylight if you look, and the damn thing is not in there. But I don't see it anywhere on the ground. I even looked back towards the tip to see if somehow it followed all the way through the exhaust. I don't see the damn thing. Anyone in there? See, there's nothing up there. Slowly getting closer. It's a pretty big gap to fill, though, honestly. But I didn't have much filler left, so I gotta go get more filler now. And then I'm gonna get some more PB Blaster and brake clean to try and loosen up the exhaust brake more. And then I am also gonna get some paint, just a little bit more paint, so we can get ready to do the bed and maybe a couple other things tomorrow. I didn't quite make it out quick enough, but some guy just pulled into the hardware store right as soon as I was getting out of my truck in a 91 Lexus LS 400. And so I started talking to him, asking like what year it was and, you know, how long he's had. He said he just got it a couple months ago. And I asked him how many miles were on the thing, and he said 70,000 original miles. The thing was absolutely beautiful. I was gonna try to get a video for you guys, but he left before I came out. Which brings me to this bag. Dude, I never want to paint. I never want to do anything anymore at all, ever again, at all. It is so stupid expensive for everything right now. Like, it's like $170 to fill my truck with fuel right now, and I just got painter's tape, a couple cans of black spray paint, can of brake clean, can of PB Blaster. $80. This bag, dude, $80 frigging dollars. Like, I mean, I get it, but I don't. Like, that's... How the hell is that $80, dude? So, yeah, that's... Man, I don't know. The exhaust brake is officially fixed. It's all freed up. It was pretty much just what I said. Bunch of buildup in there, just the soot and whatnot. So it ended up getting a little clogged, but it's fully freed up now and works good. Goes on when I click the button, goes off when I click the button. So we got a little bit of snow last night, oddly enough. Just enough to cover everything pretty much. And now it's gonna be 50 degrees today. So we're still doing painting and everything. Obviously right now the sun is kind of melting everything. I still have to finish up the body work on above the tail light, so I'll be doing that for the next 45 minutes or so, and by then it's honestly probably gonna be so warm and everything's gonna be dried out, I can probably get ready to start prepping for paint. Doing a little bit of multitasking here. This is almost done, and I'm putting coats on it, letting it dry, and then working on the rest. So I just sanded the bed lightly. I'm gonna start taping stuff off, and pretty much as soon as everything's taped off and sanded down and ready, I'll finish this up, and then we can start painting the bed so the bed is finished. All primered up, drying, taped on the bottom, but this time I am holding cardboard as I spray so that there's no extra spray on the bottom that we've already done. And to be fair, the bottom is really dirty right now, so it's kind of covered with a coat of dirt anyways. So this is gonna block 99% of anything that oversprays, and anything that does land on it is just on the dirt. So when I wash the truck, it'll come off with the dirt. Yeah, this side's all primered up and drying, and this is almost done now. This side's already sanded as well. First light layer of black. Starting to get a little heavy now, getting a little dark. Couple drips. I'm not gonna point the drips out, but you know, for the most part, not horrible. Looks a lot better than that. There's the painted side, obviously no dent. Here's the side with the dent, not painted yet. I think I'm just gonna leave it how it is, honestly. Like, that looks pretty decent. Once you get up to it, you can clearly see that it's still like, well, if I can get it to focus there, it's still kind of like got a little crease around it, but I'm not gonna sit there and try to make a lip over the top of the headlight like on that side. This thing does not wanna focus. So I think I'm just gonna call that good. I mean, if you're walking around it, or if someone's driving behind me, you're not gonna really tell there's a dent there unless you go up and start looking at it and poking at it, which at that point, I don't really care enough. So yep, I'm gonna call that good, and get to painting this side now. This is the other side after I put the taillight back in and took all the tape off. Slowly getting to it. The other thing that I forgot about is I've had this problem before. I don't know how much paint the store has. Been here before where they don't have enough. I've got enough to finish the bed. I don't really have enough to start on anything else. So one more coat and we'll be done with this side. And I am left with 4 cans. Time to go see what the hardware store's got. They only had 2 cans left here, like I thought. So I got the 2 here, and then I've got 4 still. So I've got 6 altogether. I've got 6 cans to do the hood, fenders, and doors. So I think that will be kind of tight. So what I did to smooth things over just a little bit is I got the 2 gloss enamels and then satin enamel. So basically, this is like slightly less glossy than that. It's like the same thing, but it's just not quite as glossy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this first for like the first 2-3 layers, and then final layer, I'm gonna use the gloss, so that the gloss is the final one actually covering it, but we still got enough where it's like sticky and it, you know, it covers all the white. So I'm basically doing like a little bit of a cheat. This isn't quite what's supposed to be the full paint, but it's gonna be under the last layer, so you won't really see it. Front end is all taped off, actually properly this time, because I'm not gonna get overspray on my headlights or anything. Plus got some bags now, so gonna give this all a quick sand and start with the obviously primer, and then start with the satin, so it'll be under the gloss. Should look pretty good. Primer step done. Slowly turning dark. As you can see, there's definitely less shine to this stuff, so it's gonna work out exactly how we thought. It's almost all dark. I'm getting a little annoyed with it because I keep finding drips, and I'm like really confused because I went light in certain areas and then there's massive drips, and I'm realizing that there's just a lot of drips from the previous paint job that I could not see, and now that I'm putting black over them, they're showing a lot more, so that's kind of aggravating. I tried to sand down all the big drips, but I guess I missed a lot of them, so there's some drips, but whatever. It's coming together now. I'm about done with this side. Gonna throw the mirror back on and do the other side, and we'll be totally done. Waiting on primer on this side. Every single time I paint a truck, for some reason, I always think it's a good idea to do the roof first. And then I do the roof and there's so much overspray because for some reason the wind always goes up and over. So the roof has a lot of overspray. Probably gonna have to redo the roof at some point, but it will be all black at least for a while. So I'll have time to kind of relax and fix up certain parts of it if I want as I go, but it'll at least be all black. Are you guys ready to see it? I don't think you're ready. Alright, I think that looks pretty damn sexy. Obviously under here is dirty right now. Once I give it a wash, that will blend more altogether. I have to scrape the windshield right now with a razor because that is all overspray, believe it or not. Roof has got a fair amount of overspray as well. I'll deal with that later. And the grill was the only thing I didn't do with primer, so it is chipping a little bit, so I'm gonna redo the grill here soon. But, I mean, truck is officially all black, guys. Just how I wanted it before I even got the thing. That's what I knew I was gonna do with it. So obviously still doing the wheel wells as well. But yeah, thing's all black. Friggin' thing looks evil, man. There we go. It's the final product, guys. Like I said, once I clean the bottom section of the truck will blend a little bit better. But yeah, there she is, officially done. I'm beyond excited, man. I love how the thing looks. That looks so much better to me.